it's Gina. Welcome back to my channel. This channel focuses on movies, books, and cross-stitch and other kind of fandom-y things that I enjoy, but typically I will be talking about movies, books, and cross-stitch. I got a lot I want to talk about today, so let's jump right on into it. The first thing that I want to mention are movies that I've been watching in the last couple weeks since I last filmed. There have been a lot of them. I'm going to talk about 3 in particular. If you're interested in other ones that I have watched, including Bad Boys for Life and Doolittle, check out my Letterboxd down below. I have reviews for those too, and I'm trying to do reviews for other movies as well. So I want this to be like the year of reviews and get more reviews on Letterboxd. So if you're interested in any of the other movies that I have watched in the last 2 weeks, definitely check that out. So first, I want to say that I've been trying to catch up on Oscar nominations or just reward nominations in general, because the first movie that I want to talk about is The Farewell. I think that this movie, it's a very big disappointment that it got snubbed for the Oscars. It might have a nomination, I don't remember, but Awkwafina definitely got snubbed. I think she deserves that Oscar nom. She won the Golden Globe for it, and she is phenomenal in this movie. If you are unaware of what The Farewell is, it is a movie all about this family going back to China to essentially say goodbye to one of their relatives who has just been diagnosed with cancer, but none of them are telling her that she has cancer. And so it is a very emotional film. I have been putting it off. I wanted to see it when it came out over the summer, and I just never did because I knew I would cry my eyes out, and I did. It is a very good movie. It is very well done. I will probably watch it again at some point in time, but it's definitely going to be a point in time when I feel like having a good cry, because it is a tearjerker. But Awkwafina did amazing. She's fantastic in this movie. Excuse me for being a little sniffly. The weather here is weird, and so allergies. But anyway, the second movie that I want to talk about is A Marriage Story, or just Marriage Story, I believe. This is the Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson film. It is getting a lot of buzz. It has a lot of hype. It is nominated for multiple Oscars, including Best Actor and Actress. I didn't like it. It's really hyped, and I was really anticipating watching it, and I really wanted to watch it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. The performances are fantastic. If you're unaware of this one, the title is a little misleading. It is all about Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson's main character. They're the main characters. It's all about their characters through their divorce. And I want to say it takes place at about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years or so, because we see 2 different Halloweens, but there's definitely time before the first Halloween, so that's why I'm thinking maybe like 2.5 or 1.5 years. Not entirely too sure of the timeline. It could be longer. I don't like it. I have a full review on Letterboxd if you want to check that out. I'll try to remember to link that separately, but there's a few reasons I think I didn't like it. I did give it a 2.5, I believe, out of 5. And honestly, the only reason I gave it 2.5 is because the performances are pretty good, and it is a well done film. Like, technically done, it is a good film. I didn't like it. And there's a few reasons I think that is. One, I don't like Scarlett Johansson. So I enjoyed the first like 5 minutes because we start with Adam Driver doing a voiceover. So like the very beginning of the movie starts off with them reading letters that they wrote to each other, which they're supposed to be doing for their divorce, like counseling-ish, I guess. That's in the trailer, so that's really not a big spoiler. And it starts with Adam Driver, and like, I like him, he's great, so that was okay. And then we get to her, and like that bit was fine, but then we actually like focus on her character first. So you get a good like 10 minutes of her, then you get a good 10 minutes of him, and it goes back and forth and back and forth. So I don't care for Scarlett Johansson. I never have. She's fine as Black Widow. I will go see the Black Widow movie. I don't avoid her movies like I do with some people, but I also don't seek them out. So she's just kind of there. I think that played a big part. Maybe had it been a different actress, I might have enjoyed it a little bit more, but I just didn't. Oh, excuse me. The second reason could be just because it only follows their divorce, which I get it. That's the point of the movie, but like the last 20 minutes, or maybe not even a full 20 minutes, like the last 10 minutes, my favorite part of the movie, where we're finally like past it and you see just a glimpse of life post-divorce. So yeah, maybe had there been a little bit more like leading up to the divorce and then the divorce, I might have felt a little differently. And the third reason why I probably did not like this is because their kid in this movie is like 7-8 years old, and when I was that age my parents got divorced, so I feel like it possibly hit a little too close to home, maybe. Like, I don't know, I didn't think it would bother me because that was so long ago. Like it was fine. It happened. I don't know. It was a weird kind of realization, I guess, as to why this could be a factor into why I didn't like it. And it wasn't even told from the point of view of the kid. It was told from the point of view of the adults. So that might not be a factor, but it possibly is. Anyway, Marriage Story, I didn't care for it. The last movie that I want to talk about before going into books is Parasite. This movie is fantastic. It is worth the hype. It is worth every award it is getting. It is worth every nomination it is getting. It is fantastic. Even if you don't like foreign films, watch this. It is so good. You can rent it on the streaming services now. It came out on DVD this past week. It is fantastic. Fantastic. I'm not gonna go into any of it. I'm not even gonna give a description of it because I think it's better to go in as blind as possible. I knew one small tiny tidbit, which I kept waiting for this tidbit to kind of come into play. So it's better going in as blind as you can. Essentially everything that I knew about it from the Golden Globes and from friends telling me about it, I kind of like forgot, because as soon as people would start talking about it, I would kind of zone out because I knew that I wanted to go in blind, and it is definitely worth going in blind. I can't wait to watch it again. I would like to try to watch it again like as soon as possible, but I don't know when it's going to happen. But that's all I have to say for Parasite. It is fantastic. Go watch it. That is all I have for movies. Now I'm gonna go into books. I don't have a lot to talk about for books, but the first thing, scratch that. One more thing, kind of movie-ish. It's not a movie, but yesterday, February 1st, was the day that we saw Jersey Boys. If you are unaware, I have season tickets to the Fox Theater here in St. Louis, and I would like to try to start talking about the shows that we see more often, because I do have Playbill videos where I do my Playbill collection, and so obviously the shows that I see I collect, but then also, I just said also a lot right there, but Mike goes and travels to Chicago and New York, and then he brings me back playbills from those as well, which is fantastic, and I love it. Big playbill collection, haven't seen a lot of them, but I do collect playbills and I do like seeing shows. So yesterday we saw Jersey Boys and it was fantastic. This cast is amazing. I loved it. This is one of my favorite shows. I've seen it now 2.5 times. The half time is because we were seeing it at the Muni, which is an outdoor theater, and it started pouring down rain. They stopped the show with the intention of starting up again, and then after about half an hour it started lightning and they had to cancel it. So we ended up going to see it the next day, which thankfully we didn't have tickets for the last day. Otherwise I would have been completely devastated because Mark Ballas was in that production and we were able to meet him afterwards, and it was fantastic. But Jersey Boys, it was great. I loved it. I don't really have a full review on it, which is why I'm just kind of adding it in here. So back to books. I have finished now 3 books for the month of January, so I guess this is kind of my January wrap up. I didn't read a lot. I've been playing Stardew Valley because the 1.4 update came out and it's essentially like a whole new game. So I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley and I've been watching movies, and I haven't been reading or cross-stitching much, so yeah. But I finished 3 books. The first one being Dante Bosco's From Rufio to Zuko. I loved this, 5 out of 5 stars. I talked about it a bit in my last video, so go check that out if you want a little bit more information. The only thing I want to mention with this is that he has been in a lot more than I ever thought he was. For example, one of his first voiceover works is in the Goofy movie. Had no idea, and he even mentions in this that people know the line that he has in a Goofy movie, but unless they know, no one knows it's him, and that is 100% the case with me, and probably you as well, if you're a fan of the Goofy movie. While they're in the auditorium, towards the beginning of the film, I believe it's the beginning, there is a character in the audience that shouts, "Yo, Stacy, talk to me, baby." That is Dante Bosco. Now that I know this, that makes that line even better. So yes, I really enjoyed this. I liked getting to know him a little bit more. It is very short, as I've mentioned previously. I wish that some of the stories were a little more thought out and had a little bit more bulk to them, but I also don't think they were missing anything. So it really kind of was the perfect length almost, and if he writes another one and expands on things, I will definitely be buying that as well. The other 2 books that I have finished, I finished on audiobook, and that is the first book in the Kingdom Keepers series. I forget who the author is, Ridley Pearson, I believe. If you watched my last video, or maybe even the video before, this was the book for the Magical Stitches group that we were reading and doing the homework on for January. For February, they have switched to a villains series. I'm not gonna read those. Have never had any intention of reading them. I like the covers, don't really care to read the books. But I will be continuing the Kingdom Keepers series because it was a really fun read. I believe I gave the first one 4 stars. It was fun, it was adventurous, it was neat to see the park in a different way, but also like, I'm kind of glad I'm not a ride person, because some of these rides I may think of differently now. Because it got a little creepy. But I loved it. It was good. I can't wait to read the second one. Probably won't be February. I probably will wait till March to read it when it is for the homework of that group. The last book that I finished in the month of January is The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the second book in the Raven Boys series. My favorite book series since Harry Potter. I love it. I have multiple copies of them, but they're like hidden behind here somewhere, so I didn't want to get it out because I also have them all in audiobook. So I finished it in audio. I started rereading the series before Call Down the Hawk came out, which is her spin-off following the Lynch brothers, who are my favorite. I love Ronan. The Dream Thieves is my favorite of the first series because it is essentially Ronan's book, and again, I love Ronan. He is my favorite. So I started rereading the series before Call Down the Hawk came out. Obviously that didn't happen because I'm still on book 2, so I kind of put it to the side and never finished it since I read Call Down the Hawk. And I decided I just wanted to finish it. I had 3 hours left, so I sped it up since this is like my 4th time reading it and just knocked it out. That is really all the book finishes I have. The only other thing I want to mention book-wise is my currently reading book. And I use that term lightly. So I posted a reading goals video that I want to read a specific 27 books this year. So I posted a reading goals video, and there are 27 specific books that I want to read, 12 of them physically, 15 of them on audio. I haven't read a single one. The point was to read 1 a month in the physical books and like potentially 2 a month of the non-physical books. So I started my first physical book a couple weeks ago. I'm on page 2. That tells you how much I've been reading. But that is Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde. This has been on my list for quite some time, and I have a pen here because I have decided I want to annotate this. I really enjoy annotating books. It's fun. I don't do it with everything. It's very interesting when I decide to annotate and when I don't. So I don't know, for some reason I just really feel like this is going to be one I want to annotate. So this is what I'm going to be working on. Hopefully get it done like within the next week or so. My plan is to actually start putting my phone away at night and reading, because that's half my issue. So that is all I have in terms of books. Where do I want to put these? I have nowhere to put these. All right, you're just going on the floor. So that is all I have in terms of books. Now on to the stitchy stuff. I have 2 finishes, a somewhat whip, and a lot of haul. So, finishes. I finally finished my Christmas baby Yoda. Isn't he adorable? Someone on Facebook posted that they created a pattern for this, and that is how I got this. I don't remember who, I don't remember which group, but I love him. He's cute. I kind of wish I didn't do the Santa hat first, just because now I have to wait till, you know, at least July to put him out, because Christmas in July. But I put a piece of felt on the back of him, and then I will be putting magnets on him to make him a magnet so I can take him to work and put him on my locker. For now, he'll probably just stay on the filing chest thing that I have in my room. So he is adorable. I love him. And the other thing that I have finished is Aussie Friends by Sassy Jack Stitchery. This was a free chart that they gave to help with fire relief in Australia. Every time it is shown, they're going to donate or put towards the donation for Australia. I did change some things. So I didn't do the 2 colors in the flowers just because I was lazy and didn't want to change pinks. So that is why they are all the dark pink. And then I changed the lettering to blue just because I didn't like that there was so much pink. Like, it's a good color pink. I didn't like it. So I changed that to blue, and then I added the 2020 on top. I did that because I was watching Niecy Lynn, and with hers that she did, she put 2020 on the top. And I'm real glad that I started with this bottom O and went up instead of the other way around, because she more likely than not did hers over 1 to make it a small 2020. And since I'm on Ada, I can't really do that. So the 2020 ended up being bigger than I anticipated, but it still fits within the frame of the piece, and I love it. I will probably turn this into a pillow. I just haven't done that yet. And those are my 2 actual like cross stitch finishes. I have 2 more finishes that are stitching related, and the first one is my Aristocats bag. So I have shown project bags that I've made before. This is the first time I've actually quilted it. I like this method a whole lot more. It is a sturdier bag. I can hold it up and it stays up, unlike the last bag that I did. I think I've only made 1 other for myself, but it just has like some iron-on interfacing in it instead of like actual sew-on batting, and so it's flippy floppy, so it like falls and flips and stuff. I love it. It's still cute. I will probably still make some of them that way because quilting them takes a while. It doesn't take too long. I think in total it takes me about 3 episodes of Dexter. So I've been rewatching Dexter lately. I am at the end of season 5. I will finish season 5 today. Yeah, I love Dexter. It was time for a rewatch, so I'm rewatching it. So anyway, yes, this cute Marie project bag, and the inside of it, excuse me, I have this really cute pink and white checker pattern, and then this bag, as you can see, where's all the floss, holds my temperature quilt. It is what I'm using for my temperature quilt, which brings me to my whip, my temperature quilt. This is how far I've gotten. I'm like 2 weeks behind. Whoops. My goal for tonight, after I finish doing other things that I need to do, is to work on this baby. I've got like all of these done, and then if you see up here, I went ahead and went through and got all of the columns down because I had a moment of panic that I mismeasured and that I wouldn't have enough space. So I was freaking out a little bit and decided to just go ahead and make a reference line, I guess you can say. The spots where it dips down is the in-between spaces. So yes, I will be working on this tonight. I doubt I'll get caught up tonight, but my goal is to get caught up by Valentine's Day, excuse me, so that way I can just spend some time each night stitching it, which was the plan to begin with. That hasn't happened. So that is actually the second bag that I quilted. The first one is this Slytherin bag. I love this fabric. And you see it's a nice quilt. I put a mermaid charm on the zipper. I'm gonna put a charm on my Aristocats zipper as well. I just haven't made it yet. I have some charms, I just need to add the clasp. So actually I think these came with the clasps. Just kidding, I just need to put one on it. And then the inside fabric is a green plaid. The inside of all of them won't always be plaid. This is just kind of what I had. And this one houses my Harry Potter book whip, which, oh, thread is falling everywhere. That's cool. I want to get back to this one as well. This is as far as I am. I'd like, my goal, I believe, this year is to finish at least one book. I think that's doable if I just start working on it. So that is that. I think it was a good choice to put it in the Slytherin bag because Harry Potter. That is all I have as for like sewing and whips and starts. I don't have any new starts. Hopefully by the next time you watch this I will though, because I have a few starts in mind and that ties in with haul. So the first piece of haul that I want to talk about is kind of a weird piece of haul, but okay, so I wasn't paying attention to the time. I don't know when it stopped recording. To recap the last couple minutes, which I might not put this in if that's the case, but to recap the last couple minutes, went to Michael's. They had a coupon. I bought a tag cutter, which is great. I love it. I also bought a heart punch hole to punch a hole in the bottom to make thread keepers. I've made a lot of thread keepers. A lot. So what I am doing, and I lost another heart. Oh no, I lost a thread keeper. Cool. So what I am doing is I am using scrapbook paper and cardstock on the back and just a glue stick, glue it on, and each square of cardstock I can get 6 tags out of. So in total of this big piece of scrapbook paper, I can get 24 tags. And here is an example of one, which is real pretty. And then the back, I've just been using the random cardstock. Let's see, here's a mermaid one that I've done. Oh, mermaid one with just fun on the back. And then there's this pink one with some like stars and stuff. Okay, well, this one's not focusing. You get the idea. So yeah, I'm excited. I want to make more. I will be making more. I got a ton of them. Yeah, thread keeper punch out cards. I've also been keeping the hearts inside this bag. I don't know, I might need them for confetti or something sometime. So yes, that is that. The next part of haul, I guess I'll show you my movie haul first. I don't have any book haul. I probably won't have any book haul for at least a month or so when some pre-orders come out. But movie haul. The first movie, Parasite. If you remember from earlier in this video, unless you skipped it, I loved this movie. I rented it, immediately went out and bought it the next day because it is just phenomenal. I love it so much. Again, go into it as blind as you can. The other movie that I got is a Valentine's Day present for my mom that I've already given to her because I am impatient, and that is Joker. We loved this movie. I thought it was great. It is a good movie. Ooh, I can do the thing with it. I can't wait to watch it again because when we watched this we had some theater moviegoers who were not pleasant to be in a theater with, and it kind of ruined the experience. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie and I can't wait to watch it again. So that is my movie haul. I'll do my monthly clubs. So first is the fabric of the month for Color and Cotton, and this is Copper Kettle 14 count Ada. It's showing up a little yellowier than it is. It's kind of like a darker yellow. I mean, it looks like copper. So that is that. And then also I am part of their Thread of the Month club. So this is King's Blue Light, Jack-o'-lantern, and Sedona. Aren't these gorgeous? The orange is showing up pretty good. The purple and the blue are showing up a little more muted than they are. Oh, there it goes. This orange is gorgeous. So that is very exciting. I also got a piece of fabric specifically for Heartstring Samplery's Baby It's Cold Outside. I didn't want to stitch it on brown because I like when stuff is stitched on different colors that can make it pop or like add something else to it. And when I saw this design, one, I knew I wanted to stitch it immediately once I discovered it, because it is so cute, and Baby It's Cold Outside is one of my favorite Christmas songs. And I also knew that I immediately wanted to stitch it on something more wintry. So I took to Etsy. I forget who the Etsy shop is. I'll link it below though. And I got this really, really pretty light blue snowflake fabric. It is so cute. I can't wait to start stitching on that piece. I finally finished getting the threads for it. I was going to use threads that I already had, and then I didn't like the red that I had. So Friday night, and I just dropped something, didn't I? Yeah. Friday night was Cardinal Needleworks opening house, which is Color and Cotton's new needlework store. Right now they are in the front part of their studio with the intention of getting their own place at some point this year, and it is very, very exciting. I was able to talk a friend of mine into going with me on Friday night. We kind of traded off. He went with me to the needlework store and I went with him to his favorite record shop, so it was a fun night all around. The record shop was fun, even though I didn't get anything because the record player I have is not great. But I did get a lot of stuff at Color and Cotton, or should I say Cardinal Needleworks. I'm so excited that they have an actual shop now. So if I ever get the hankering for a Color and Cotton fabric or threads, I can go over there and get it, depending on when their hours are open. Their hours right now while they're in the studio are a little not convenient for me, but I'll make it work. So the first thing that I am going to show you every video. Okay, since my clock was going off, I was able to pick up the thing that I dropped, and the thing that I dropped was a Snag Nabbit. I've been looking for one of these things everywhere. I've been needing it, so I'm really glad that they had some. And the next thing I want to show you, I wasn't gonna get, and then I was standing in line to check out. And so when you walk into the studio, the front room, they had this wall filled of patterns, and then this wall also had patterns, and then this wall was full of Color and Cotton threads, and then the wall immediately like to your right when you walk in was Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Needle Art or Gentle Art threads. And then there was another room in the back where all of the fabric was. And so in the room in the back where all the fabric was, there was also a setup and a wall full of Mill Hill kits, and that's where I was standing waiting to check out. And I just kept looking at this and I'm just like, it is so cute. It's a piece of pizza. I am not a fan of pepperoni pizza, but I will be making it. I will probably go ahead and make it a pepperoni pizza just because it's cute, but there's a high chance that I might just make it a cheese pizza. Isn't it adorable? I hope it's focusing. It is not focusing, is it? there it kind of goes. It is so cute. I was just staring at it, and so I had to buy it. I also bought 3 different things of floss. The first one, here's their business card. Isn't that so cute? The design, it is adorable. So I got 1 color and cotton thread, mostly because I didn't want to buy too much. Like, I already spent enough money because I mostly went for fabric. I wanted to add to my fabric stash, so I got 1 color and cotton thread. Again, I didn't want to get too much because I am part of the Thread of the Month Club and I don't really want to get a lot of doubles of things, but I had to have this. It is Dracula. It is very bloody looking. Come on, focus. Thank you. It is very bloody looking and the variegation in it is fantastic. I picked it up and the idea was to maybe use it for the house in Baby It's Cold Outside, but then I was like, it's a little darker than I want the house in Baby It's Cold Outside to be, but I couldn't put it down because it's called Dracula and it's very bloody looking. Again, I've been watching Dexter, so. And then the other 2 that I got is from the Gentle Art. I got Schoolhouse Red and Portobello. So the Baby It's Cold Outside called for house fabric is pomegranate. They did have some pomegranate. I didn't really like the looks of it. It didn't, I don't know, it wasn't poppy enough for me. Like, it didn't pop out at me. But I really liked the Schoolhouse Red, so this is the red I will be using for that. And then I got Portobello because it is kind of sand looking, and if you remember, if you saw a video, oh, when did I film it? I don't know, a couple videos back I mentioned that I had mostly kitted up my Dorothy mermaid type piece, and that the thread that I bought for the sand part of, like, that looks like a fin of a mermaid tail, I didn't like it. It said it was sandcastle, and then online it looked sandier than it was, and it's just not, I didn't like it. I like it as a color, I didn't like it for what I bought it for. So I got Portobello because it is very sandy looking. This is the main reason I wanted to go to their open house, so that way I could actually look at threads in person and find a good sand looking color. So yes, very excited to have that. Almost kitted up. I need to get fabric for it. I failed to look at my pattern and measure to see how much I would need of it. So I didn't actually get fabric for it, but I will eventually. I did get 3 pieces of fabric though. One of them I wasn't gonna get, but then it kept calling at me and I wanted it. And it is this limited edition 14 count opalescent Aida, which, yeah, the sparkle's not showing up like at all. Oh, there goes a little bit. It is very, very sparkly in person, especially in the right lighting. Yeah, the sparkle's not very showing up. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. I might do ornaments on it because it is very snowy looking and very bright and happy. I also got a couple other limited editions that they have. There isn't actually a color on it, but I got this piece and they're, oh, whoops. Okay, so this one is showing up darker than it is. It is kind of like a pinkish neutral. It's 18 count. I thought everything I grabbed was 14 count. Cool, cool. I don't mind 18 count. I'm doing another project on 18 count that I got from them. I just prefer 14 count because I'm still a little new. 18 count is still a little difficult for me, but if this is big enough, I did get the bigger piece of this. And now that I know that it's 18 count, it might be. If this is big enough, this is what I'm gonna do that Dorothy mermaid on. I don't know if it's gonna be big enough though. It might be since it's 18 count. So maybe I did that on purpose, but I could have swore I was buying 14 count and all. And then I got this neutral beige-ish color. It's got a lot of different like shades in it and I just really liked it. Yeah, it's not showing up on camera well. That's the one bad thing about fabric. It doesn't show up on camera well. So that is all I got from Cardinal Needleworks. And the last things that I have to show you are also project bags. And they are my first project bags from Garon Toten Bags. I finally joined the Facebook group. I've been wanting to join it for a while, but then I was like, I don't know, because I also know that I didn't need to be spending the money on project bags. But I got money for Christmas, and instead of using it for practical things like food and bills or, you know, adult things, excuse me, I decided to buy some project bags because it was Christmas money, so I wanted to get something fun. So, in the Facebook group for the Garon bags, what they do is when they have enough stash like built up, they'll post pictures on Facebook and then you comment on it and then they'll invoice you and then you pay it through PayPal, and then they send you these wonderful bags that Ronnie creates and makes, and they're perfect. I love them. I love them. So the first one, I'm gonna put these down, that I got, as soon as I saw it, I commented I had to have it. I had to have it. It is the most me bag that they were selling that day. It's Cats in a movie theater. I love it. It's also perfect because the movie Cats just came out. I have a whole video on it if you're interested. I like this cat eating popcorn. Where is she? This cat. Okay, this other cat eating popcorn. This cat looks like my cat. There's their tag. This cat looks like my cat Jack that passed a few years ago, even though I'm assuming it's a female cat because of her little purse. She's adorable. There's cats drinking soda. They're obviously watching a thriller. And then the back as well. And then the inside fabric is also amazing. It is a bunch of theater words. So it's lights, camera, action, the movies, cinema, that's a wrap. And like has some little theater wheels. I love it. Everything is perfect with this bag. Absolutely perfect. This is going to be my Baby It's Cold Outside bag. I can put it up later. So since it's gonna be my Baby It's Cold Outside bag, I already have all of the rest of the threads I'm using, which this is more purple than I thought it was. This was the thread I was gonna use for the house because I thought it was very red looking. It ain't red at all. Wait, yes. Huh. Whatever light I was looking at this in made it look red, and I'm really glad I didn't start stitching on that because I don't want a purple house on that. So yeah, all my threads are in here. And that is the little tiny mini Notions bag. Also same inside fabric. I love this because the cat that's knitting is on the flap. I don't knit, but I do crochet, so one and the same. And then the last bag that I got from them during this sale was this really cute Valentine's Day heart mini bag. And the inside fabric is also adorable. They're polka dots, but they're hearts. I wanted the big bag of this. As I was writing my comment, a 6th person commented that they wanted it and they only had 6 copies. So when I saw that they also had the matching tiny one and that there was still some available of the tiny one, I snatched it up because I really wanted it. I could have got like the extra large one that they had, but I didn't. This one's big enough. I don't really have anything too huge that I would need it for, so I got the tiny one. I love it. It's perfect. I love them. I'm really glad that I joined the Facebook group. It's a fun Facebook group too, not even like when you're just looking to sell. It's nice to see everyone's like projects and stuff. So yes, that is it for all the stitching things. I had a feeling this video would go a little long, and it's just because I've had 2.5-ish weeks of buildup, which I didn't think would go long because I haven't really been stitching or reading, but movies and then all the haul. all the haul, y'all. So yeah, that is all I have for you. If you enjoyed this, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe for more content. This is how videos are going to go on my channel: movies, books, cross stitch. I may do separate videos here and there for reviews, or if I just get a hankering to do a actual booktube style video, which are a little bit more structured and plotted out and edited and creative almost. It's just, they take a lot of work and a lot of editing, which is essentially why I kind of stopped making booktube videos and pretty much took a year off YouTube altogether. But I've talked about that a lot. I'm gonna try to stop talking about it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I hope we're having a good year. January took forever to get through, but we made it through it. We're in February. I hope you guys have a good Valentine's Day if I don't see you before then. And just, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.